Hello, hello, hello everyone. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're all doing very well. I have some exciting news. But I'm not going to show you just yet. Also, I realized I have forgotten to fix my audio because I am silly. I've been wondering why I haven't been able to hear anything for the last few days while I'm streaming. Which hasn't been an issue because it's just been lo-fi music going in the background while I read, which I'm going to be doing some of today as I have not done the book, and this is the promise that I have made. There we go. Now I can hear sounds. How are you, Bashter? Hold on, I gotta fix another thing. There's so much stuff to fix. Things. New things. Where's the buttons I'm looking for? Where? Is it this one? I stabbed myself with my pen earlier and now my hand really hurts. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. I stabbed my hand. And my one finger hurts. It sucks. That's not what I wanted to do. Buttons, 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 looking for it. Speaking of redeems, and then trying to remember how to make redeems. I've been trying to set something up real fast. I'm just gonna do that for right this second. Don't let me forget about the new redeem. I'm not putting it up just yet because now's not the right time. But don't let me forget about it when we start doing the game. So we're going to start off. Look at that beautiful lo-fi. Which is a little messed up. Shh, you didn't see that. So, why am I being weird? Hold on, everything's fucked. Hold on. Sorry, I forgot to recalibrate. How does one? Okay. I should now not be broken. There we go. That's better. So, the last few nights I have been reading a book called Silverwing for chat. It's by Kenneth Opel. It's about bats. We have met 4 of our main characters. I think that's all of them. I think we've met all of our main characters at this point. We have a silverwing bat named Shade, who is the main protagonist. We have a brightwing bat named Marina, who Shade ran into after being swept away in a storm from his colony. And we have Goth and Throb, who are gigantic jungle bats that were taken to be observed by people and very promptly escaped because he is royalty, damn it, and he's trying to get back to the jungle but can't find his way. So we started with Shade getting his roost burned down by the owls when the owls found out that he attempted to see the sun and how that is against the law. We learned that there was a major war between the beasts and birds, and the bats chose not to participate and were deemed cowards by the birds and traitors by the beasts, and thus were banished to the night forever. So Shade's colony set out early on their migration to the hibernaculum, but along the way Shade got swept away by a storm after not listening to his mom. Again. and was swept onto an island where he found Marina. They then decided to head towards the city and follow Shade's sound map that his mother gave him to try and find the way to the hibernaculum themselves. Marina has a silver band on her forearm. She's been marked by a human, and people haven't, and the bats do not know if this is a good or a bad thing. Some, very few, think it is a good thing. Most assume you're going to burst into flames at any given point in time, because that is a thing that has happened in the past. So they have just passed the city. This is also where we picked up with Goth and Throb. After Goth and Throb escaped, they attacked some pigeons to be able to eat, since they have a wingspan of 3 feet and are massive-ass bats. The pigeons did not take kindly to this brutal attack, and captured Shade and Marina, believing they were involved. After threatening to peck their wings off, Shade and Marina made their daring escape and made it to the cathedral. That was another landmark, where they met up with a albino bat named Zephyr. He healed a little bit of Shade's wings where he had been pecked once, and they have set out once again on their journey to find the Silverwings. Throb and Goth, in the meantime, are looking for a guide to get back to the jungle, since even the stars are unfamiliar. They've been taken so far away from home. And while there were no bats in the cities, they have stumbled across Shade and Marina, or rather, are about to. They have been noticed. Oh yeah, and the birds have closed the skies. Bats are not safe at any point anymore. Which is rude. Closed skies. Did you hear that? Yeah, Marina asked. Wing beats. Shade looked back over his wing, swept the sky with his eyes and echo vision. Nothing. They'd finally reached the outskirts of the city, and Shade was exhausted. He couldn't believe how lucky they'd been. Twice they'd seen a distant squad of pigeons patrolling rooftops, and once he'd spotted an owl sentry silhouetted against the rising moon, but they'd passed unnoticed. Still, he couldn't shake the feeling they were being followed. The moonlight made him nervous. It lit the silver in his fur, and Marina, at times, positively glowed. At least they were far away from the ocean now, and he could smell the trees and fields up ahead, hear the familiar outlines. He knew what to stay away from here, where he could eat, where he could hide. I still can't believe my father's alive, he said. Where, though? He disappeared around Hibernaculum, right? That's where you start looking. What if the owls have him? Shade had heard terrible stories about owls using bats as slaves, to build nests, hollow out trees, and then eating them. Marina shook her head. Shade knew even if they had found him in time, it would be almost impossible to rescue him from an owl nest. Maybe he's with the humans, Marina said hopefully. Shade smiled. It was a comforting thought. But why wouldn't his father have come to tell Ariel and the others? To tell him? He just couldn't desert them all, keep the secrets to himself. Bitch, you weren't alive yet. Shade is also a runt. And a newborn. This is his first migration. The owl plunged from behind then, silent wings spread, and it was only the pungent odor that made Shade whirl just in time. He cried out and flipped to his side, fast enough to escape the claws, but not the wings. The blow sent him spinning down to the trees, stunned. He hit a branch, the impact softened by dried leaves, and sunk his claws into the wood so he wouldn't slip off. Enormous eyes bore down on him. He scrambled to get out of the way as the owl battered the branch with its wings. He saw Marina hurl herself against the bird's back, sink her claws and teeth into its dense feathers. The owl shrieked in fury, swiveling its immense head, and stabbed at Marina with its hooked beak. She jerked clear, and the owl slapped her off with its wing, and turned back to Shade. All he could see were those flat, moon-like eyes, and then something big and dark struck the bird from the side and clung. It was as if a part of the night had torn loose and lashed down. The owl bellowed in agony. Shade saw powerful black wings, then claws, and a set of jaws opening and clamping down on the owl's neck. There was a horrible cracking noise. It was a bat. The bat opened its jaws and the owl slumped lifeless, its wings tangled in the branches. He looked at Shade. "Are you alright?" Shade nodded. "Thank you," he whispered, his throat dry. He felt extraordinarily small. This bat was at least 4 times his size, as if the stone gargoyle really had come to life. The similarity was unsettling. The face was more beast than bat, with a long snout splattered in blood, large eyes, and a strange flared nose that spiked upwards. A second bat, wingspanned at least 3 feet across, circled overhead. "My name's Goth," said the first bat. "And that," he said, with a dismissive flick of his head, "is my companion, Throb. I'm Shade," and he broke off and looked around in alarm. "Marina!" "I'm here," she said, fluttering over and glancing warily at Goth and Throb. "You okay, Shade?" "They saved my life," he said excitedly, turning to Goth. "You're from the city, aren't you? You're the ones who killed those pigeons." "How'd you know that?" "Because they caught us," Marina said, "and wanted to know who you were." "Did they attack you?" Shade asked. The giant bat laughed. "Pigeons? No, we were hungry." He leaned over to the body of the owl and ripped a hunk of flesh from its chest. Shade flinched in surprise. "You're not meat-eaters," Goth said with interest after swallowing the owl flesh in one gulp. "No." "You're welcome to try some." "No, thank you." The smell was repulsive, heavy with blood, and Shade saw Marina take a few steps away from the owl's body. "Where we are from, many are meat-eaters," Goth explained. "I'm sorry if it alarms you." Goth likes bat flesh. This is a confirmed fact. He talks about it earlier. He was going to eat Throb, but he needed Throb's help to escape. "Where do you come from?" Marina asked. "The jungle. If it weren't for humans, we'd be there now. We escaped just last night. Look." He pulled out his wing, and a thick black metal band around his forearm caught the moonlight. Shade sucked in his breath and glanced up at Throb, still flying above them. A band glinted darkly on his forearm, too. "Escaped?" Marina asked, frowning. "I don't understand." "You've been their prisoner, too, I see," Goth remarked, nodding at her band. "No, they didn't imprison me. They gave me the band and let me go, but..." "They didn't take you to the false jungle?" She'd looked at Marina, who shook her head dumbfounded. As Goth ate, he told them about being captured by the humans, and the month he spent in their jungle prison. She'd listened intently as the giant bat described how humans had flashed light in his face and struck him with darts. "But why would the humans do that?" Marina asked. "I think they were studying us. They want our powers of flight and our night vision. They banned us to mark us as their prisoners." "No," Marina said, so softly Shade almost didn't hear. He didn't know what to think. Everything Goth said flew in the face of what he'd been told. That band was a sign of the promise, a link between bats and humans, and the humans would somehow help them. Could Frida and Zephyr and his father, could they all be wrong? He felt sick. "They didn't take me prisoner," Marina said stubbornly. Goth shrugged. "They're not our friends, the humans. They will be punished," he added darkly. 3 mournful hoots floated up through the night air. "Who was that?" said Goth, his crest bristling. "More owls," Shade told him. "They're calling for their sentry. They'll come if they don't hear him back. We should get moving. Which way are you going?" "We don't know. We want to go south to the jungle, but we're not familiar with these stars of yours." "You come from a place with different stars?" Shade asked. "That's right. Brighter and more numerous than these." Shade turned to Marina, incredulous. No one had ever told him about a jungle world where the bats ate meat and the sky contained a different set of stars. Did Frida or Zephyr even know about such a place? "Is it always so cold here?" Throb said with a shudder. "Just in the winter." "Winter?" asked Throb, as if pronouncing a new word. Shade was surprised. Maybe where they came from, they didn't have winter. He began to feel useful. "We're migrating," he explained. "Every winter we go south to find a warmer place to hibernate." "Hibernate?" said Goth. "A long sleep." "How long?" Months. He was glad that someone shared his amazement at the idea of hibernation. That's all we do. Sleep and sleep until it gets warmer. Well, how unusual, said Goth with a laugh. Bats that sleep for months on end? What a strange custom you have in the north. He looked up at the sky. But you can read these stars, can't you? We're going south too, Shade said, then added impulsively. Come with us. We're trying to catch up with my colony. I'm sure Frida could tell you how to get back to the jungle. Goth turned to him and smiled gratefully. That's very generous of you. I don't like them, Marina said. She and Shade were alone, hunting in the riverbanks for insects. Shade caught a snout beetle and cracked the shell. Well, I feel a lot safer traveling with them. There was a strange squeal from the forest floor, and they both saw Goth fly out of the trees with a rat thrashing in his jaws. They're eating half the forest, Marina said. It doesn't bother you that they're meat eaters? They're from the jungle, he said impatiently. Everything's different there. Probably why they're so big, he mumbled. It made sense, all that heavy meat. He wondered if he were to... He grimaced, remembering the pungent smell of the owl. What does it matter what they eat? We eat insects, they eat other animals. You expect me to be sad about that owl? This is the second owl that's wanted to eat me, and they were quite happy about it. And I've heard stories about how owls eat you, how owls eat you, pulling out your insides while you're still alive. Well, remember, it's your two friends down here who got the skies closed down. And every time they kill something, a pigeon or an owl or a rat, the birds and beasts are going to want revenge. And that's bad news for us, and any other bat out there. He knew she was right, and it made him angry. He thought of the rat Goth had just killed. He hoped Goth had been careful, picked a straggler. Look, the owls started it, not us. They can't just close down the night skies. I just don't like them, Marina said again. I don't trust them. Remember what Zephyr said about meeting an unexpected ally? Ally? You think that's Goth? She rustled her wings. He also said that stuff about be aware of metal under wings. Maybe he means Goth. You've got metal under your wings, too. I've thought of that already. Believe me. You don't like what they said about the bands, do you? Do you? She demanded. No, but... What? Doesn't mean it's not true. They didn't imprison me. They didn't put me in a room and jab me with darts and study me. I can't believe humans are as bad as they say. Zephyr did say they wanted something from us. But also that there was something they wanted to give us, Marina insisted. I don't know. His head was beginning to ache. What about your elder, Frida? What about Zephyr and your own father? You think they were all wrong? I just don't know. So you're saying my colony was right all along. Humans are our enemies. I didn't say that, Marina. And here I thought maybe the band meant something. She tapped it sharply against his head. But all it means is I'm a prisoner. That's it. No secret anymore. I guess I don't need to come any further, do I? An awkward silence fell between them. I want to go back, she said quietly. What? I want to go back. To the island? To the city. I want to find this fake jungle. Are you crazy? What about the pigeons? The owls? It's not safe. And even if you did find this place, how do you... He sighed. How do you know they won't hurt you? How do you know your father's not there? Shade felt his breath knocked out of him. He stared at Marina. It hadn't even occurred to him, but no, he shook his head in relief. Zephyr said he was far away, remember? Marina sighed. Let's leave Gotham Throb. We need them, he said bluntly. We aren't 2 hours out of the city when we got hit by that owl. You think we can make it on our own? Marina was silent. I want to know what it all means, too. He ignored her doubtful snort. I really do. But let's just catch up with my colony, and then we can talk to Frida and the other banded bats, and maybe we can get answers. You're pretty impressed by these two, aren't you? She'd caught him by surprise. Well, big like you always wanted to be?" There was a taunting hook to her voice. "Maybe," he said, face burning. "So what?" "I wish you hadn't asked them to join us." "Listen," he said, "we're safe with them. And what if there is a war? What if that's what Nocturna meant? And even my father said we had to wait for something before we'd be free. Maybe this is it." "What do you mean?" "Goth and Throb. There are others like them in the jungle, right? Maybe we can convince them to join us. Make a big army." His heart whirred furiously with excitement. "You saw the way Goth killed the owl. It was easy for him. I mean, just look at them. They're natural warriors. If we had their help, we could fight them once and for all. And the pigeons and the owls and anyone else. Everyone who wanted to keep us banished. And I know we could beat them." "My day's going good, detective. Yeah. I do have the VODs are up of the, previous chapters that I have read. I don't even know what books I would do that for, honestly, Bashter. Dark. So we're gonna read for about an hour, and then we'll get into good old gameplay. That's how I've been doing it. At least before. We do an hour of reading, and usually I'd end the streams and not get into gameplay since, it was late, but today we are. Dark allies. Goth ripped another hunk from his squirrel and chewed thoughtfully. He looked up at the sky. This was the second night he'd spent with Shade and Marina, and he was beginning to recognize a few of these stars now. It wouldn't be long before he could navigate by himself, and he would make a quick meal of these two little bats. Still, they were useful in other ways. He didn't understand the trees here, some with spindly, leafless branches, others with sharp, prickly needles. It was Marina who'd found a place for them to roost last night, in a deserted woodpecker's hole, and Shade had shown him how to drink from the stream by breaking through the frozen water. He called it ice. Ice. Never had he seen such a horrific thing. It was painful to touch, the cold seeping into him with a shock. He ruffled his wings and closed them tighter around his body, but the cold wind cut through anyway. The sooner he was free of this northern wasteland, the better. Throb landed beside him with a sparrow in his jaws. "I want Bat," he whined. "Not yet," Goth growled. "Wait, you'll get Bat soon enough. Have some self-discipline, and remember," he added ominously, looking at Throb right in the eye, "I like Bat too." Throb shuffled back a few inches and ate his sparrow sullenly. "Who's this Nocturna they keep talking about?" Shade used a claw to pick out some meat between his teeth. "Some pathetic little religion, I suppose." Shade had told him all about it, the battle between the birds and the beasts, the banishment, and this wonderful promise. It was all ridiculous, but he said nothing, preferring to keep Zots, the one true bat god, secret for the time being. "Even if Nocturna does exist," he said diversively, "she can't be very powerful. Just look at the puny creatures she rules over." Throb hacked out a laugh, spitting up some gristle and bones at the same time. They really were pitiful creatures, Goth thought. They couldn't even defend themselves against pigeons. The owls, he'd admit, are somewhat more formidable. Fighting more than two at a time would be a challenge. Still, these bats lived in total fear of them, afraid to show their face during the day, and now, even at night, according to Shade. Goth smiled, pleased. It seemed he'd started a war. And they needed him, these two bats. Shade wanted him to meet the leaders of his colony. Of course, Goth had willingly agreed, knowing he'd be long gone by then. Maybe he could fly south alone. He certainly wouldn't need the help of some mangy silverwing elder. Unless... The thought slid into his head like a snake's tongue. Unless Zots meant for him to meet the silverwing colony. Unless there was a design behind his capture by the humans in the jungle. It made sense. Why would Zots have let humans bring him north, if not for a purpose? The dream. Hundreds upon hundreds of silverwings flying around him in the jungle. How did they get there? They got there, the voice inside his head told him. Because you brought them there. In the jungle, Goth was saying, it is never cold. The heat hangs in the air like rain. The landscape is lush, not like this rocky forest below us, but bright with flowers and plants and fruits, the likes of which you've never seen. and the incense there are so succulent, 3 or 4 would be enough to feed you an entire night. Shade listened, rapt, as they flew through the cold sky. It was not the beetles Goth described, but the warmth that made his mouth water. Waking this evening, he'd been startled to find a faint dusting of frost on his outer wingtips, and he'd beaten it off anxiously. This was the 3rd night they'd spent with Goth and Throb, and they were still navigating by the cathedral star. He wondered how long it would be before they caught up with the other Silverwings. The whole world was glazed with frost, the naked tree branches glinting silver. The sound of insects had dulled over the past 5 nights, and hunting was now becoming more difficult. Fewer living things came out at night now. From time to time he'd spotted huge flocks of birds in the distance, making their own migration south. So far, though, there had been no sign of any other bat colonies, and this worried him. "There's a sheltered ledge over there," Marina said, pointing to the rocky hillside. "We should probably find a roost, and then we'll have about an hour to feed." Shade shivered and looked to the east. He'd hated stopping, always felt like he was losing time, but at least the sun meant it would be a little warmer soon. His ears arched and his feet felt numb. Or his ears ached. I can't read. "How many bats are there in your colony?" He asked Goth as they circled the ledge, checking for roosts. "Millions." Millions. It was hard enough to imagine 2 giant bats, much less millions. "There's probably not much in the sky you're afraid of," Shade said enviously. "Nothing," Goth told him. "The vulture and hawk are the only birds of any strength, and they don't dare attack us." Shade wondered what it would be like to not be afraid. He'd never know. He was a runt. Practically everything in the sky was bigger than him, but if he convinced Goth and Throb to join him, maybe that would count for something. He'd agonized over how to ask them, given up the whole idea more than once. What did he know? Who was he to ask these giant bats to join their fight? Maybe he should leave it all to Frida or the other elders. Marina found a tunnel in the stone face, big enough for Goth and Throb to fit through. Inside, it was dry, and protected from the wind, and small enough so their body heat would quickly warm it up. She had scanned the floor intently. "What are you doing?" Goth asked. "Checking for owl pellets, to make sure they haven't been nesting here." Marina had taught him how to do it. Owls swallowed their prey whole, they didn't chew, and their pellets contained all the bones and teeth of whatever they'd eaten. He was afraid one night he'd find part of a bat's wing fingers or jawbone. This place was clean, however. "You live in constant fear of them, don't you?" Goth said. "We're too small to fight them. But if 5 of you attacked one..." Shade had never thought of that. "Maybe," he said. "We can't allow our bat brothers and sisters to be treated this way," Goth said fiercely, looking at Shade, and at first Shade thought Goth was angry with him, thinking him a coward, and he looked at the floor. "Come with us to the jungle," Goth said. "You and your colony, and I'll call upon my family for help." "You will?" It was more than Shade could have hoped for. "We can muster an army and return north to fight the owls." "You'll really fight with us?" "It would be a great honor to help your return to the light of day, just like Nocturna promised." "All without the humans' help?" Marina asked. Shade looked at her with surprise. She'd gone almost the whole night without saying a word. He knew she was angry, at Goth, and at him. She was staring at Goth belligerently. "I wouldn't count on the help from any humans," Goth snorted. "They're more interested in imprisoning us than setting us free." Shade felt Marina staring hard at him, but he couldn't meet her gaze. The humans? He just didn't know what to think about them now. They seemed unreliable. Marina thought they were good, and Goth and Throb thought they were evil. As for the bands, there were ones like Frida's, and others that burned bats alive. How could they count on humans? "Maybe Goth's right," he said, still avoiding Marina's eyes. "Maybe the humans aren't going to help us." "What do you know?" she snapped bitterly. "You aren't even banded." Shade looked at her, stung. "Maybe I'm not, but..." "No, you don't know what it's like. How it felt. It was special. I don't care what any of you say. It means something." She paused. And your father thought so too, Shade. He was aware of Goth, watching him intently. I know what my father thought, he said coldly. Maybe he was wrong. So you're just gonna give up on him? Go off to the jungle without looking for him? Of course I'll look for him. So it's just me you're giving up on. Before he could even fumble for words, he flew out from the stone hollow into the night. Or she flew out from the stone hollow into the night. Marina! He shouted, and was about to dart after her, but Goth spread one of his massive wings. Don't worry, she'll be back. Let her calm down. I didn't want to hurt her feelings. You didn't. She's put too much hope on these bands. Now she feels angry and foolish. She'll get over it. Yeah, said Shade, looking after her. He should have felt deliriously happy, knowing that Goth and Throb were going to help him form an army, but he felt a dead weight of disappointment in his stomach. We know the stars well enough by now, Throb said. What use are the bats? Let's eat them. Keep your voice down, Goth hissed, looking across the treetops to where Shade foraged alone for insects. He turned back to Throb. You'll do as I say, when I say. Without me, you'd still be back in that prison, eating those watery little mice. Remember that. He hadn't told Throb about his plan, and he wouldn't. Everything had become so clear to him, once he'd managed to unlock the dream's meaning. He would travel with Shade and Marina until they met the other Silverwings. Then he would convince them to come to the jungle, thinking they could raise an army. But when they reached his homeland, all the Silverwings would become slaves to his family. Year after year they would breed, creating an endless supply of living bat flesh for them to devour. They would become eternal sacrificial offerings to Zots, who sent his servant Goth to the north to prove himself and bring the Silverwings to the jungle. Shade hadn't suspected his purpose. It had been so easy. The Silverwing was spirited, yes, and intelligent, but he was also desperate for glory. As if he could ever have it, the scrawny little thing. But Marina... He was more worried about her. She doubted them, he could tell. It seemed like Shade was safely on his side now, but he wondered how loyal he would be to his Brightwing companion. He couldn't afford to lose Shade, and if she could sway him... He turned to Throb. You want Bat so badly? Find the Brightwing and kill her. Marina! Shade was getting worried now. He'd fed alone for half an hour and still she hadn't come back. She shouldn't be off alone, not now of all times. There might be owl sentries nearby, a clutch of crows. He flew past the stone ledge where he'd found a roost. He hadn't seen Goth or Throb either. Panic fluttered through him. Had a squadron of owls struck without him knowing? Taken all of them? He wanted to shout out, but he knew that would only mark him if there were owls nearby. He began a wide circle around the roost, staying high above the trees, but peering down into them with his echo vision. He finished his first circle and started again, wider. In the branches of an oak he spotted Throb, hunched over, his back to him. With relief, he flew down and could hear the raw, sickly sounds of feeding, of something being wrenched and chewed. Splayed to one side of Throb's shoulders and head, he could make out the outline of a lifeless wing. His usual revulsion suddenly gave way to horror. His echo vision flared at the edges. He was seized by a terrible weakness, afraid that he might faint. There were no feathers on that wing. It was fringed with bright fur, leathery, and the ridges along the fingers beneath the surface. Throb was eating a bright-winged bat. Escape. Shade wheeled and dived into the trees, but he was too late. Shade? Is that you? Shade! Crouched in his hiding place, he could see Throb, turning slowly, seeking him out with beams of sound. The Brightwing's head fell from his jaws and lolled to one side, so Shade could see the face. He almost cried in relief. Not Marina. He had to find her. He released his grip, opened his wings, and flew. Shade! He'd stuck below the tree line. Throb's wings were too wide to follow him, and through the tight weave of foliage he flashed, flipping from side to side, almost over onto his back sometimes, to avoid being impaled on a pointy twig or dashing himself against a trunk. Overhead he could hear Throb curse, then a sound piercing through the leaves and branches, trying to get a fix on him. Wings pulled tight, Shade flew headlong, trying to keep track of Throb's position. Silently, not grazing even a single leaf, he banked tightly, darting back the way he came. Then, twice more, he made quick changes in direction, until he could no longer hear Throb's crackling wing beats above him. He'd peered through the leaves and pieced together a bit of the sky. Where would she be? It was almost dawn. She couldn't stay out much longer. She'd go back to the roost. Choking for breath, he burst from the cover of the trees and streaked towards the stone hollow. He sent out a quick spray of sound. No sign of Goth. He must be out still hunting. But he pulled back from the entrance at the last moment, circling. What if Throb had beaten him back? What if he was waiting inside? "Marina?" he called out quietly. "In here," came her voice from the roost. He was lucky. He shot through the tunnel and into some stone hollow. There she was, grooming her wings, and he was so grateful to see her, even though she looked up at him coldly, still angry. "Marina, we've got to—" His flesh crawled. Goth was perched silently at the back of the hollow, still gnawing on a bone. It seemed impossible to him that he'd felt safe with this bat just hours ago. Now the sight of him chewing made him sick to his stomach. Meat eater. Bat eater. "Got to what?" Goth asked. Shade forced himself to land and take a few deep breaths. He was covered in sweat and dust. "Oh, I was gonna tell Marina she should come see this big icicle near the stream." "I'm tired," Marina said with a yawn. "And I've seen icicles before, Shade." "Not one this big." He stared at her, and she looked at him strangely before giving a quick nod. All right, show me this icicle. Then let's get some sleep." "Okay, we won't be long," he told Goth. "I'll come too." Shade tried to keep his face from tightening. Great. He tried to pick something that Goth wouldn't be interested in, and Shade knew he despised ice, as though it was some kind of personal insult. Goth must know. Numb with dread, he led the way down the stone tunnel. "It's over here," said Shade outside. At least if he led them away from the roost, he'd have more time before Throb found them. Excuse me, my goodness. Time to maybe make an escape, lose Goth in the undergrowth. And sunrise not more than 20 minutes away. "Do you hear that?" Goth said. "Yeah," said Marina. "Sounds like a horde of insects." It was getting louder now, but it had a regularity that made Shade think it wasn't insects at all, but some kind of human machine. Whatever it was, it's coming their way. "There's Throb," said Goth. Shade looked. Goth was beating his way towards them, fast. He'd be there in less than a minute. "What is that?" Marina gasped. Bearing down on Throb was some kind of human flying machine, wings a blur, lights blazing. Throb started to bellow, but the machine flew over him, drowning out his voice. Shade watched in horror as it came straight for him, rearing overhead. Wind exploded around him. A dart whistled through the air, grazing his tail and slamming into a branch. A second dart plunged into Goth's chest. Roaring in anger, the giant bat spiraled down, thrashing as he tried to wrench it free. "Let's go!" Shade shouted to Marina. They veered away from the flying machine, hurtling back down into the forest. Shade flew low to the ground, even though he knew it was dangerous. Raccoons, wild dogs, even snakes could leap up and snap at them. Owls waiting in branches could drop on them like forked lightning. But above the tree line, they'd be easy prey for humans and their deadly darts. Birds were starting to rise from their nests, the dawn chorus cut into the icy morning air. "Where?" he asked Marina urgently. She was the expert. To his alarm, she landed on the ground. "What are you doing?" At the base of an elm was a thick bed of green-matted leaves. Marina quickly nosed around in them, and then started burrowing with her claws and head, pushing her way deeper into the mulch. Shade understood, and instantly followed her lead. Working quickly, they soon hollowed a deep nest. Scuttling back to the opening, Marina dragged some leaves across, covering their tracks. Inside was damp and cold, and they huddled close together. Shade was so tired his whole body was shaking. "What happened?" she asked him. "I saw Throb eating a bat." You're sure? He nodded, teeth chattering. I think the humans killed Goth. Those darts. He remembered that one had narrowly missed him, and shivered. What about Throb? She shook his head. When that machine came, I lost sight of him. The image of the limp, bright wing in Throb's jaws shimmered at his mind again, and he winced. I hope they got him, he said vengefully. I had a feeling about them, you know, she said. Shade said nothing. A couple nights ago, I woke up in the roost, and Throb was staring at me. And there was just something about his eyes. Hungry, like I was food. Why didn't you tell me? What would you have done? He sighed, ashamed. Laughed, said you were seeing things. I'm stupid. Bats who fed on their own kind. They were monsters. No animal he'd ever heard of. Not even the owls did such a thing. He felt a sudden rush of self-loathing. He trusted Goth, believed every word he'd said. Go to the jungle, raise an army, defeat the birds and the beasts once and for all. He thought they were going to be allies. He thought it was all part of the promise. You wanted to be like them, Marina said. He nodded miserably. Look at me, he shouted inwardly. Look at how small I am. Who wouldn't want power like that? The power to kill an owl. The power to stop them from burning your roost down. To help your colony. To find your father. But why didn't they just eat us right away? He asked. They needed us at first. To give them directions. After we showed them how to read the stars, they wouldn't need us anymore. I thought it was you, Marina. When I first saw him eating that bat, I thought it was you. Must have caught a straggler, she said in a dull voice. He shivered again, and they shuffled closer, enfolding each other in their wings. They want to kill all of us, the humans, didn't they? Marina muttered darkly. My colony was right all along. Humans are evil. Shade clenched his teeth, not knowing what to say. That machine came straight for us, Marina went on. They knew where we were. How? The bands, she breathed. It must be. They tell them where we are. Shade's fur bristled. The idea of that machine coming back, those darts plunging into him. The bands don't mean anything, do they? Marina said savagely. All it does is mark me so they can come kill us. No wonder my colony drove me off. They were right. I am cursed. Don't, Shade said hoarsely. And you were right too. The humans aren't going to help us. And as long as I'm with you, you're in danger too. He squeezed his eyes shut, wishing he could drive all the thoughts from his head. Everything had collapsed. He didn't know what he had left to believe in. He felt so sure when he left the echo chamber at Treehaven. And now? What did he know? The bands meant nothing. What had his father risked his life for? What did Frida know? Maybe there was no promise at all. It was a story, a lie, and Bathsheba was right all along. There was only night and day and the law, and that's all there would ever be. We're gonna find my colony, Shade said grimly, and we're gonna find out the truth about the bands. About everything. Goth fell, the dart deep in his side, limp wings knocking frozen leaves. He hit the ground in a heap. His vision swam, and it was an effort to lift his head. One last try. Drunkenly twisting his neck, he clenched at the base of the dart with his teeth and jerked back. The dart ripped clean and blood flowed from the wound. His flanks heaved for some air, some kind of poison in the dart, like those needles they used to stick in him. Fight it. Fight it. He was so tired. So heavy. Blackness. Then, dry leaves crackling. The ground vibrating. A pair of gloved hands picked him up. He kept his eyes closed, but he was suddenly totally awake. He concentrated on the hands, gauged the strength of the fingers, where the grip was the weakest. He opened one eye just a slit, and saw the man from the artificial jungle looking down on him, his face protected behind a plastic hood. Goth closed his eye, took a long, slow breath, then struck. He flared his wings, knocking the man in the face and making him stumble with a long, slow moan of surprise. The man's grip loosened, and Goth wrenched his body free, but launching himself into the air. He plunged at the hood, sinking his claws into the fabric and ripping it up and off the human's head. The man was reaching for something at his side, lifting it, trying to aim. Goth darted down, claws lowered, and raked him across the face. The man dropped the object in his hands, and clutched the gash in his cheek. "Zots, curse you!" Goth shrieked as he lifted himself up through the gap in the trees, high into the sky. In a field nearby, he caught a glimpse of the flying machine, resting on the ground, and 2 more humans running into the woods towards the man. "Shade!" he cried. "Marina! Throb! Here! I'm here!" Flopping towards him was Throb, and Goth was almost glad to see him. "I thought they'd killed you!" cried Throb. "It was another sleeping potion. Keep flying. This way. We'll get away from them. Where are the other 2? Throb's eyes flickered guiltily. "Throb? I don't know. Why didn't you kill Marina like I told you?" "I thought I did." Throb faltered. "It was a Brightwing, all alone, and I killed it. And then I realized it wasn't her, and..." He trailed off miserably. "And what, Throb?" "And the runty one saw..." "You idiot," said Goth with quiet loathing. "No wonder he was acting so strangely. I thought they were trying to escape." He looked contemptuously at Throb. "You let them get away." "There were darts everywhere. I couldn't see..." "Shut up." "But we don't need them," said Throb. "We can find our own way south now. We'll get back to the jungle faster without the little bats to slow us down." "We needed the runt for my plans." Goth fell silent, furious. He should have done it himself. Killed Marina, made it look like an owl had struck her. Then he would have had Shade safely all to himself. Now it was ruined. Shade knew they were bat eaters. How could he possibly win his trust back? But he wouldn't turn back now. He wouldn't be defeated by those little bats. He'd made his promise with Zots, and so help him, Zots, he would not fail. "We're going to follow them," he told Throb. "We're going to find them." And that is where we will leave the book for now, as we are now entering part 3 of the story. So now we go to game, which means I have to fix all of the things. How did y'all enjoy that? Do you like the book? I like the book. I haven't read Silverwing in a long time, not since like 6th grade. But I remember, because we had to read it for class. And the first thing I did was I read the entire book so fast. Which was really funny. Why is my thing like that? Oh, fun. Okay. We're just gonna. Boop. Let me get the thingy open. We're gonna play some more Ciri's Journey. And then I have to change my Twitch stuff. Game. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Detective. I'll be reading more of it tomorrow. We're probably gonna finish it maybe next stream, maybe the stream after that. So maybe Monday night. Boop. Stream manager. Edit info. Nope. Demos. It's not a demo, but... We're just gonna be God, lo-fi. Pause. I need to adjust my me. My me is incorrect. Hopefully that's better. Yeah, this works. Wiggle, 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 yeah. And, okay, yep, all good. Where the fuck is Winterwolf? He didn't enter chat. I'm offended. Oh, shut up. It's going to be a short stream today. My sister is coming over. And I also have to watch the dog because my parents are away. So I have to watch the pupper. She's fine for now, but I can't leave her too long. Actually, I'm gonna go check on her real quick. Let her out to go use the bathroom, so I might be a couple of minutes. Because she is very old. I pray to God she didn't poop in the house again. So I'm gonna go check on her. I will be right back. I am back. I completely fucked up the audio. Whoops. Never let it be known that I am good at dealing with the audio. Did I fix? It's time for me to implement the thing. Where is it? Button. Button. Where thing? Where is it? Okay. They're activated. Hee 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 hee. I'm gonna see if you guys notice what's new. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait till you guys notice. But until then, we're gonna play some Ciri's Journey. If it'll load. If it'll do the thing. Hi, Winterwolf. I was surprised to see that you weren't already in chat, honestly. 19 hours I've played this game. Alright. Always heal my Pokemon. I'm not gonna play for super long. You were working out? Yeah, don't you know? Normally, don't you lurk if you're working out? Healed Pokemon. Hee. I have made some upgrades to my model, but you guys have to find the things that will allow you to see what it is. It's not that hard. That's fair. Currently, I'm the only one home, too. My sister's gonna be here anytime now, and my parents are away at a poll. So for now, I am alone, but I'm going to be ending stream not long after my sister gets here. Okay, paying attention. What are we noticing? It's not on my model myself, currently. It is on the model, but not, you know, you can't see it on my model yet. You missed 90% of what you said. I have upgraded my model. I have talked to my model parent, and they have added some things to my model. There is a way for you to trigger them. You just have to figure out where. It's not as cryptic as I'm making it sound, and once you realize, you'll be like, oh, obviously, duh. Team Steel. I complete that gym. I think I completed that gym. I think that's what I did last week, right? Nope. I didn't do this gym. I don't think I'm high enough level to, but I can try. Or not. Hello? Do you have something? You may have the other 5 badges, but you seriously don't want to underestimate the gym leader. Okay. You wouldn't? Why don't you redeem things? What are you saving up for? I don't have anything exciting at the high levels. Oh, that makes sense. Right, then where do I need to go? What do I need to do? Progress story. That's what I need to do. Still half the map I have never seen before. Yeah, we're in Sapphire City. Moonhaven, east of the ruins. Okay. Can I fly there? I can't remember. I can. Snom! That's right. There's a mart there. A well. I'm going down in here. Big lore reveal. Def not canon. Oh, have I done this cave already? Can't remember. Look at that reflection. Let it be canon. Snom can fly. You just gotta strap a balloon to him, then he's good to go. Oh, yeah. That's what was in here. Snom is a hack. Did you notice? I don't think anybody did. I found this strange fossil. I'm gonna be taking this to the fossil laboratory in Sapphire City. Hee 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 hee. Looking for a gym challenge? Check out the gym on the Marsh route. You can get there by heading east on Route 6. Just my granddaughter and I spending these days since my wife passed. I'm not saddened, though. I could feel her watching over us. Hee 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 hee. Hee hee hee. Hee hee. That's the fun part. One is blatantly obvious, and the other is only obvious to those who have been around for a very long time. Yes, I would like to surf on the water. Route 6 ahead. The tail wag is not new. The tail wag has always been there. That was something I specifically requested. I was like, I want to be able to wag my tail. South to Edgewood. Ruins are in the Edgewood east. Okay. Do. Why do the Twitch emotes want to make you eat glass? I hope mine don't. They're the same ones I have on my Discord. Running. Hee. Oh yeah, absolutely. Why is Onyx so low? Why did Onyx end up so low? Hold on. To fix Onyx. Get back up there. There we go. Did you? Did you see a snom on my head? Guess we'll never know. Oh no, I didn't mean to put the emote up. There we go. How do you know you're not just going crazy? What do the rest of you think? Did you all see Snom? Cause you already went crazy. Snom. Hee hee hee. Hee hee hee. Yes, I do have a Snom on my head. He's my little Snom friend. Everybody meet God. Technically, he's the question mark redeem. What triggers it? Someone will redeem it, and I will just put it on my head. I just hit a button. Button. And now he's gone. And now he's back. And now he's gone. And now he's back. I have enough points for about 4,000 stomps. There we go. Okay. I thought I coughed into my mic real quick. I tried to mute in time. I did. I just looked like I didn't there for a second. I was sad. But yeah, I have a new Snom. He's very cute. He does not move around very much. He's just attached to my head. I do have one other thing, but you guys have to search in the thingy to figure out where it is. BRB fast and use your map. I think the ruins appear on it. Okay. I will do that after this fight. But yes, I have a Snom on my head because I love Snom. Snom is my favorite. There's Faytown, Thunder Coast, Sapphire City, Sunlight Islands, Starlight Port, Ghostlands, Topaz Vale, Winter Peak, Leafia, Altar of the Moon, this small red dot. Okay. I don't know how I'm supposed to get there, other than I'm pretty close. Hello? Hello? We are calling to notify you that you've won a cruise for... Click. Yeah, no thanks. How do these scammers even get your number anyway? When you sign up to things online. That's how. Okay. Get destroyed. I do have one more toggle. That is a very well requested one. I finally did it. But I'm gonna wait for you guys to find that one. I wanted to share them though because obviously I'm very, very excited about Snom and about the other toggle. But I'm extra excited about Snom. Ooh, 2 max revives. Yay! Also, I'm running the game very fast, which is why it do be looking like that. AKA a little, not glitchy, but glitchy. Just because I'm moving so fast, the game can't keep up. For those who don't know. Two hyper potions. Oh no! Welcome back! Oh shit! That is a very fair reason to go leave. Honestly, every reason is, but fire especially. Do you like my little Snom friend? So I have also made, I've also gotten other updates done to my models, so, once I get an iPhone for tracking reasons, I will have better tracking, more facial expressions and such. My webcam doesn't work quite. We have a level 2 drought, yeah. 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 Ciri? Yes? Who's there? Where are you? Seriously? Hello? Officially confused. Come to see the ruins? I did too, but I'm too scared to go inside them with all those scientists around. Why are there scientists in there? Those scientists inside the ruins are intense. They've destroyed every trainer and Pokemon in their path. I'm gonna destroy them. We're getting together to do a full sweep of the ruins here. If there's anything worth finding, we will be the ones to find it. Just, stay clear of those crazy scientists over there. You found a full restore! My sister is calling me. Hello? Streaming? Why? Yeah, I can help you with the kids. I'll be out in 2 seconds. Okay. My sister is here. I need to go grab one of the one of the kids. She's got her two my nieces and nephew. So I'm gonna go grab them real quick. I'll be right back. Let me put on the lo-fi vibes. Let me not run away before I've put on tunes for you guys at the very least. What kind of streamer am I? Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I'm glad you like my screen. So I'm only gonna stream for another hour and a little bit. Since, you know, my sister's here. And I want to hang out with my niece and nephew. Thank you, I'm glad you think it's pretty. Snom on my head. I love my little schnom. My little schnom. Waiting for the game to respond. Boom, 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 boom. Mwahahaha. I love him, he's so cute. Oh, speaking of, I need to... Hello, game, respond. Hello? 10 years later, I shall drink water. Did your pause screen freeze it? No. Sometimes when I click off of it to click into something else, it'll do this. I just have to wait for it to start responding again. Oh, it did respond. I couldn't hear the game audio. Hey, you're that pesky kid! Evil scientist Ciri would like to battle. Also, I have a lot of reading to do. I just read, like, 4 chapters of a book. Electrode. I'm just gonna roll out at you. Rollout is unaffected by your ability to levitate. Silverwing. Hold tight, DMCA. Come on now. I was about to say, if that doesn't take out the electrode. Ooh, DMCA leveled up. Another electrode? No. I've got a very good, I've got it on very good record. I've got a, good rollout waiting. There we go. Hell yeah. As they should be. I may have lost, but I am a mere underling. The boss will thrash you, kid. I like that even the evil scientists are like, have to obey the laws and of niceness and give you money. A brat like you feels like walking into our business? Evil scientist Rick would like to battle. More fucking electrodes? Get more original Pokemon, you scientists. Come on now. Magnitude 8. It's super effective. I can hear Jack Jack running around. Yeah. You'll be sick of electrodes after them. Is it the Chew who also has ground types? Because I want to save DMCA since he's only got 6 HP left. Ice Beam! Ow! That was rude of it. Well, the Chew's down. Or will be very shortly. Nope, is down. Who do I want to send in? I don't think cancel is a very good option. Why so many electrodes? I'll just hit him with hydro pump instead. Wash away all that muck. Weak like my spelling. That's rude, raising your armor. Have you guys figured out what the other toggle is? It's one that's been asked for a very long time. Do you know? Have you figured it out? You're new? Fair. How are you, by the way? I haven't said hello. I'm so rude. There's a lot going on. Winterwolf, you should know better than anyone. You're day one. Bitch, you think I got $1,000? I am a broke ass. I wish I had $1,000 to give to people. Maybe one day in the future I will. Maybe I'll do one of the fucking moist critical type things. Give out money. But right now I do not have that kind of money to give away. Good, stay frozen. Get destroyed. I'm so cool and epic. Did you guys see that? There will be no mercy for a weasel like you. I don't know. I need to swap out DMCA from first. We'll put Spooky in the lead. Prepare to be sacrificed in the name of darkness. I go through phases where I'll watch a lot of his videos and then none at all. Fair. I'm paranoid I left the gate upstairs open. I'm gonna go check. Don't go anywhere, bot. Fucking fight. I don't think I left the gate open, but I'm scared I did. No, I didn't. We're good. We leave it open when the kids aren't here, so I have to, like, make sure that I close it when they are here. But, every time I hear him running around, I get worried. You're gonna hit me twice? That's rude. Yeah, I know, right? Poof. My niece and nephew are very cute. They are both very, very cute. Eshbeen is 6 months now? In and around there? No. Not even. And Doot. Real names not used for obvious reasons. Or Jack Jack. Either works. He's a year and a half. Hit him with Aurora Beam. Get smacked. Look at him. God leveled up again. Look at him go. XP. Do, 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 do. Also, Winterwolf, I am surprised you don't remember, I'm surprised that you don't remember who's God? God is the name of the Snom. Snom is God. That's not what I meant to do, hold on. Snom is God. I told you about them when I calmed them. Why? Because I love Snom. Because Snom is a good Snom. Exactly. We don't question Snom. Snom can fly. And also something else. Snom can do a couple of things that Snom is not supposed to be able to do. Winterwolf is the one who made this game. And I'm the reason why Snom is in it at all. Surf, fly, and strength. Snom's overpowered. At least in this game. He's a strong little bug, and it's really funny that an ice bug type is my favorite type because I notoriously dislike bugs and anything that's not fire. So it's really funny that Snom is my favorite Pokemon. You'd never think, you'd never suspect it. Arsene leveled up. Arsene wants to learn Fire Blast. Imagine a Snom Fire variant. If you were gonna do a Snom Fire variant, by my morals as a witch, I would have to inquire about an Earth and Wind type. Or a Flying type, I guess. Flying type and what would be the ground? I guess ground type. Get all them elements. Do we get rid of... Well, we'll get rid of Fury Attack. Stomp is good enough. Win strategies are Stomp is God, Stomp Gods, always plow through, spam a button, or in this case, enter. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna have to actually go in with some strategy in here. He's got a bunch of Pokemon. Hey, if it works, it works. There's been some talks about potentially flopping it into my Discord for a little bit. Technically, it's not supposed to be distributed. Yeah. That's why DMCA is called DMCA, because that is the history of this game. It got DMCA struck. Yeah, it's not super active. I'm trying to get it more active, but no one ever wants to talk to me. This one would be good for DMCA. That's Rose's server. I have my own server. I'll bring Nova back up. Yeah, the Rose Art server is Rose's server. Rose and I are acquaintances. Ow! Where can you find it? The link? Exclamation point Discord. Literally, I have a bunch of commands that are all exclamation point. And then what you want. That link should still be good. It's supposed to be set so that way it's permanently available, but I've had issues with that regardless. It's expired? Or does it work? It is also in the description. You can see it in my I put a couple of the commands in the title so that way people can, you know, find it easier. No one's able to find it anyways. Yeah. Everybody leveled up again. Magnet rise. You can float. Do, do, do. Oh no, my attack missed. That's fair. Get smacked, Voltorb. Wow, that sucks. Why are you not logged in on your phone? I'm terrible at using Discord on my PC. I'm so used to using it on my phone. Do I have one more rollout? I think I do. No, it's my streaming server. You can post art. That's fair. You can post art and stuff in it, but it's not a primary art server. It's just a little bit of everything. That's fair. I defeated evil scientist Morty. Yeah, that's fair. I need to heal before I... What the? God damn it. Denver! Ciri, no, stay back! Mew, release your barrier! Mew! So this is it, huh? The legendary Mew? I can't say that I'm very impressed. Shut up! Bold words for a foolish girl. Charizard, destroy it! Mew, reflect it! Again, Charizard! Reflect! Strike back! What? Charizard didn't even budge! Do you see now what you're dealing with? My Charizard has consumed the essence of a Power Stone. By my calculations, he should be more powerful than even Mew. You see? It's useless. Charizard, unleash everything you've got. It let its guard down to protect the other two. Strike it down. No! Mew! Ciri, Mew, I don't know what to do. Charizard, finish them all off, now! Charging up. Mew. Do something! Womp womp womp. Ciri! Ciri, wake up! What happened? Mew. Mew. Denver. Ugh, my head is pounding. You were out cold. Mew saved us in the last second by freezing us in a temporal rift. We escaped. Barely. Yeah. I wonder what causes it to do that. We meet at last, under these unfortunate circumstances. Denver plans that we meet on the day you challenged her at the gym. You spoke. Denver, Mew spoke. Telekinesis. Mew is psychic. Wait, it was Mew I heard just before entering the Altar of the Moon? You heard Mew? Mew, is this true? You spoke to Ciri just before? Huh, fair enough. I understand. Mew, can you link our three minds together? We have a lot to fill Ciri in on. I will link our minds. Please, stand over there and there. Wait, what? Ciri, just do it. Okay. You are now telekinetically linked to Mew and Denver. They can speak to you mind to mind. Can you both hear me? Yes. Can you hear one another? Yes. Whoa, this is really weird. You'll get used to it. That aside, we have something to discuss. Right. Like starting with, who the hell was that guy? He's the leader of... It would appear that you already know a bit about these scientists. If you know about them, that could be why you seemed to randomly show up here. Ciri, care to explain? She learned of them in her final battle against Team Rocket aboard the SS Havelock. Okay. Can you read? Yes. I ken the minds of those I'm linked to. Even the information they don't broadcast in their telekinetic communications. Kinda neat. Kinda creepy. Again, you'll get used to it. So, you learned about the scientists from Team Rocket? Yeah, actually the girl that was leading them, Kara. The one from the lake? Yes. Do you think she knows more than she told you? I don't know. Maybe. Do you know what they're after? The Power Stones. She told me that, and Mesame kind of refreshed on it after I battled her in Starlight Port. Well, Team Rocket was used as pawns, so I doubt that Kara knows much more than that, and Mesame has been investigating the situation. She's been doing so on the behalf of the Pokemon League. Did she say anything specific to you? She knows about the Relic of the Moon. I don't know. So that's the real reason you showed up here. It wasn't just a hunch. You said that I was starting to go stronger and that you could trust me more with my adventure. I do trust you more with your adventure, Ciri, but that doesn't mean tracking down the most dangerous thing in the world. However, the two of you must work together on this if we are to stop the scientists at all. My temporal rift kept us trapped for roughly 2 hours, so naturally they have both the Relic of the Moon and a head start. But we have one advantage. What's that? They think they've destroyed us, which means we can follow on our next steps without worrying about being on their radar. Next steps? I could stop the scientists, even if they gain possession of more stones. But just in case, we should try to halt their attempts at collecting more stones, because I still can't be 100% certain. Wait, what? How? You didn't even put a dent in that Charizard. How can you manage to defeat that thing? That's because Mew is greatly underperforming in the power department. Meaning? Currently, my ancient powers are divided. You see, Ciri, I've been busy trying to locate some other ancient Pokemon because they hold the key to unlocking Mew's full power. 3 ancient bird Pokemon that I divided my power into eons ago. Moltres, the bringer of earth and magma, who formed in the crusts of the earth that humans now stand upon. Articuno, the bringer of the water, the very essence of life for all living creatures. Zapdos, the bringer of storms, whose destruction kept balance, for all creation must also exist a destruction, so that new life could begin. All 3 whose birth was brought by my separation of power by the first. The first? Arceus. You mean that unit in school was a real Pokemon? I thought it was mythology. Over thousands of years, humans have in fact forgotten most of the truth behind the legends, so I can understand if this is a lot to take in. Wow. I'm managing to follow along, though, but I have one question. If Mew takes the power of the other ancients, what happens to them? They continue on, as anything would. They will need to rest, though, as they will be recovering from a fight. A fight? Yes, a trainer and a Pokemon will have to fight them and earn their favor. Then, and only then, will they lend their power. But isn't Mew like their master or god or whatever? My powers help to create them, but they have no memory or connection with me past that. They would see me as unworthy too, unless I proved otherwise. I see. So they are super strong, they don't even remember Mew, and they only give their approval through a fight. Jeez, what could possibly go wrong? I understand that you may have some doubt, but this is the only way to regain my powers. And not all our eggs are in one basket either. I plan on seeking out the base of operations and destroying it so that they can't extract any more power from the stones. Meaning that Charizard can't get stronger either? Exactly. And because its powers aren't natural, it's eventually going to run out of juice. We just need that to happen before they achieve something crazy like world domination. With 2 efforts towards the same goal, I'm certain we can stop the scientists. I mean, it's worth a try. I want to stop them too. So, should I seek out the headquarters while you and Mew gather the power of the legendary birds? Snom will handle it. Oh, speaking of Snom, where did he go? I took him off my head and then I put him back on, and I guess... Did I type something, maybe? I don't know. If I hit any of my number keys on my keyboard, they all have different toggles, but I've had to expand from just my number keyboard, which I don't use for anything other than my toggles, to other buttons that are also... I use more frequently. So, Snub might just, like, up and disappear sometimes. Actually, Ciri, I'm still much more powerful with my other Pokemon than you are. Why does my neck need to crank? I'll send you to their headquarters. To send you to their headquarters would be a huge mistake, and you would more likely be caught and destroyed. Okay, that's great for my confidence. It's just the truth, so I think that I should seek out the headquarters, and I think you should take Mew and locate the legendary birds. What? I said you can take Mew. No, I heard that, but what? Are you crazy? It's the safest plan. But aren't these legendary birds very dangerous too? Yes, but with Mew there, you won't be in danger. If a battle against either of the legendary birds results in a loss, I'll perform a temporal shift. Like what you did to save us here? Kind of. I performed a temporal freeze here. I stored us in a phase parallel to passing time. A temporal shift will pulse, and the area around us back in time. Something like what you humans would call a rewind button. Okay, that's overpowered. Why didn't you do it here instead of just freezing us? I didn't dare attempt a temporal shift during the event here, because the result will always be the same. Charizard would have destroyed us. Okay, I think I understand. So Ciri, will you take Mew? Yes. Mew materializes in a Pokeball in Ciri's hand. Use the Pokeball. Ciri opens the Pokeball. Ciri obtained Mew. Would you like to give a nickname to Mew? Yes. I'm naming Mew Meow. And immediately into the box Mew goes. We both have jobs to do, Ciri, but you'll also need to get stronger along the way. Don't abandon your adventure. The strengths you gain from your experiences will be needed too. Right. As for my gym, I've appointed a new gym leader, so visit there at some point too. Okay. I wonder who it could be. You are no longer telekinetically linked to Denver. Back to the lab! Also, Mew isn't strong yet, so in the box he shall remain. Pretty much! You are now kinetically linked to just Mew. Denver is right. The road ahead is very dangerous, and it's important that you continue to go stronger than you are now. We'll stop with the scientists, but carry on with your adventures along the way, Ciri. Right, I will. So, Denver is just dealing with the headquarters situation, and we're in charge of the legendary birds. I should get back to Andrew at the lab. Maybe he knows something about the legendary birds. Since you and Denver are assumed destroyed, suspicious scientists that were scattered around will no longer block your path moving forward. Will it? Or are you just telling me that? Because I've pulled off some wacky shit. Oh, it's a ferret! Look at ferret go. Go! Arson! Stomp on the ferret! Jesus. 65 or 71 or something. What if I hit it with Fire Blast? Let's see what that does. Immediately wipes it out. Avoid as much grass as possible. Because it's me. And I will definitely end up in 10 million battles. Okay. We need to get to a Pokemon Center, because I need to heal. Gym 6 badge is required for the final dungeon, so it's complete when ready. Rest of the game is now unlocked. Also, you can fly. I know I can fly, but walking places is... Hi, Rose! How are you? Do you like my new friend? Oh, I feel that. Oh, the freedom of not being at work anymore. Yes, rest my Pokemon. Yes, this is Winter's game. Snom is God. I am going to create a religion around Snom in specific. He is our god, he is our leader. You must praise him. Long live Snom. Okay. So we can't do the gym yet because we will die immediately. Church of Snom, like Church of Adam from Fallout for the second game in Rune's playthrough. My goodness. Church of Snom, it's just me. I love Snom. I really want to get a Snom plush, but they're always sold out on this site. Moonhaven, north, Altar of the Moon, east, Topaz Route, west. What's south? There is no south. Lab is so far also next to the Pokemon. The next Pokemon to be doomed to the box, Rose or Flipper. Yeah, I forgot about that challenge. I need to go back to the lab. Was the lab in Faytown? I can't remember. Fly Snom! Andrew, what can you tell me about the legendary bird Pokemon? I know a little bit, but you have an investigation to do first, and I have a trashed lab to clean, remember? True. I'll go and do that. Then I want to talk about the legendary birds. Bro, it's been a long time. Why hasn't he cleaned the lab yet? Sure thing. Now go check out the Fey water supply. Yeah, Ciri did take the shit out of him. God used dive. Oh no, an abandoned Pokemon. I mean, you could eat the town. You found a revive. Guess this is the way back up. God used dive. To the box with her! Yeah, if you're not part of, like, the core 6 of my, okay, of mostly OG Pokemon and Snom. Because my party is, OG. DMCA wasn't an OG, I got rid of the other original. But Arson is one of the first Pokemon you get. Exactly, if you can't stomp the fuck out of birds, get the fuck out. That's specifically what Arson is good at. Nova was because Nova is incredibly strong. Spooky was an EV I got very early on and evolved into a Umbreon after leaving it in a daycare for a long time. Nova was gone before Snom showed up. Yeah, and then Snom showed up. And I aggressively leveled Snom up so fast. A Chew is another one of my favorite Pokemon. I want to evolve him. I just don't have the item. His evolved form is one of my favorites. Is another one of my favorites because he looks neat. And then DMCA, who is unequivocally the powerhouse of my team. How many Pokemon you got in your box? I've got one full box and one other one that's about half full. I'm not very good at sticking to the, hold on, I could check the PC center, the Pokemon center's right here. I'm not very good at the whole gotta catch 'em all thing. I just wipe them out instead. No, I haven't. Yeah. So, we've got Paycheck, Teddy, Tayarts 12, Virus, Piracy, Adblock, Bug, Zap Zap, Squishy, Batty, Marshmallow, Winterwolf, Bouncy, Fire Bacon, Bird Brain, Beans, Malachi, Honeybee, Sunburn. Sunburn was a very strong contender to be on my team, but I couldn't give up Arson. We've got Jimbra, Minion, Ick, Sped, Sad Boy, Dem Burbs, Waze, Gibby, Malware, Bashter, Doug, Broteen, Buddy Boy, Flutterby, Fangpire, Cannibal, Lightning, Tech Issues, Chicker-Free, which is the only one I did not give a unique name, Snake, Cancer, Slasher, Veggie, Wear My Pen, Bacon and Eggs, Fox Squirrel, Poof, Nomer, or Nomer, I think is what it's supposed to be, Meow, and now Rose. Sunburn lost because its weak-ass legs compared to Steroid Horse. What do you mean I'm creative? All of these names are 90% the first thing that comes to mind when I stare at a Pokemon. Literally Snake. I bet. You like Tech Issues. Cannibal. I don't know why I named him Cannibal. Where My Pen is definitely my favorite. I can't remember why I was looking for my pen. But then, of course, we've got Spooky, Nova, Arson, Achu, God, and DMCA. I think I named Achu. Achu is named Achu because he's a Sneasel. Get it? Haha. Yeah, Sunburn lost because I didn't want to have two of the same type in my party. Because that would make, you know, what type matchups I do know. You'd get wrecked if you pick the wrong type in one type because the ability Magic Guard or whatever makes a Pokemon immune to everything but its weakness. Oof, yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I give all of the Pokemon I catch a funny, unique name. Just because why not, you know? So I need to go check out the Fey water supply. I don't know. I ended up here. I need to go back. Dive, Snom, dive! I could just, like, the only thing I picture every time it comes to, like, Snom flying or diving or whatever is just, like, you hanging on to, like, his nubbly little legs. Just using its nubbly little legs to hang on to as it flies away. I love Snom. How did I end up here? I'm so confused. Ciri, good evening. Hi, this is May. Want a battle? It's not going to be a repeat of last time we met. I'll be waiting for you around the Edgewood. Bro, he just throws your ass across the country. Man, I love my Snom. Snom is so good. Okay, so we need to figure out the Fey water supply. So I need to get back to Fey Town. Because I somehow got very lost. Okay. Also, did that horse teleport me or something? It was weird. Fey Town, head right of the cave. There's a cave. I can hear my nephew causing a ruckus upstairs. To the cave! Bold of you to assume I remember where the cave is. Other right. Dang it. Aha! Alright, because this rock was in the way. Also, I've discovered that most people will have, like, an HM dump Pokemon. I just have it spread out between all of my Pokemon, and this is why I can't replace any of them, because they all have something important that I need to maneuver. I'm just over here like, no, but I love them. Water is a deep blue. Yes, I'd like to surf on it. Powerful blizzard manifests from the heart of the cave. Injury stone absorbs the weather's harshness. No, Snom absorbs the harshness. Obviously, because he's Snom. Here it comes! I have to set up a temporal shift. If all your Pokemon faint, we'll start here again. Thanks, but I don't plan on losing. I thought we were supposed to talk to Andrew about the legendary birds, not fight one before we talk to Andrew. I'm like 5 levels underneath, but well, we'll see what happens. He refused to talk to you because you beat his ass. Well, he said we had to go figure out what the water issue was. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to. Arson, get your ass in here. Don't get frozen. I'd have been so mad. Dang it. Oh good, we both missed. Except one of us is being buffeted by hail and the other is not. And it's burned, that's good. Aqua Ring would have been really bad. Yeah, I don't know why fucking Arson's accuracy is so goddamn low. I'm just gonna keep hitting it with Fire Blast. Ow. I need to heal. That's fair. That's a lot of HP. I was about to say, can you actually hit it with the Fire Blast this time? That's fine, because your burn will immediately, you know, fucking take that right back down. You're a bird, but I know Stomp's not gonna do anything. And you're gonna get immediately smacked by your burn. I was pretty lucky to get that pretty early on. I'm out of Fire Blast. Fire Spin's okay. It traps it in a vortex, which will do more damage per. Okay. You're gonna try and heal, and it's not gonna work. This was a remarkably easy fight for, That's fair. This is suspiciously easy. I don't trust it. I'm just gonna stomp it for good measure. I probably should have caught it. Could I have caught it? I kind of was running under the impression that I wouldn't have been able to, no matter what. We did it! It recovers from the battle immediately and flies away. You feel a mystical power wash over you in the wake of the Pokemon's departure. This power? It feels so strong. Mew, is that really only a piece of your power? It may feel like a lot of power, but I fear that Charizard would still have the upper hand. That's fair. Yeah, I got that burn off. That burn that went off really early was really good. But I am still fragmented, and once we get all 3 fragments of my power, I won't just become stronger by 3 times. I will become nearly 10 times stronger. All the more reason to locate the other legendary birds. Let's get back to Andrew. That was such an easy fight. Only I could get so fucking lucky like that, only to turn around and be my absolute shit rocked by schoolgirl Amber. And then beat up a legendary that's 6 levels higher than I am with no issue. Jesus. Heal my Pokemon. Heal him again. And also save. Andrew is down here. No, he's not. That's fair. After I talk to Andrew, I'm probably going to end the stream there. So, I've cleaned the lab back up since, you know, trashed it for my stone. But it really was for a good cause. I needed it to finish my investigation. I suppose. So, what did you find? Have you finished? Yeah. I found an incredibly powerful bird Pokemon, and fought it too. I see. And I believe it was a legendary bird Pokemon. Seriously? What makes you think that? Let's call it a hunch. Well, did it look like one of these? Andrew shows Ciri a picture. Yeah, that would be it. That one, right there. We trashed it way earlier. Supposedly trashed it. So what can you tell me about it? Wow, that's incredible, Ciri. That's Articuno. I'm terrible at pronouncing words. I can't believe that Articuno was just chilling out in the caverns next to our town. Okay, so lame joke aside, what can you tell me about it? It wasn't lame. Mom, come here! Ciri saw an Articuno. Not only saw it, battled it too. Is this true? Yeah, I battled it in the Fey Caverns. What is it? It's just... One sec. Looking. Aha! I knew I had the ancient scripture somewhere. Ciri, what can you tell me about it? It was very strong, was it? But I knocked it down, but it got up immediately and flew away. So very strange. It reads here that Articuno would only appear in times where the ancient Pokemon, Mew, has awoken from one of its century-long slumbers. However, Ciri, no such evidence of Mew exists in the modern world. Really? Yeah, Mew's last confirmed sighting predates any living person today. Well, show them. What? I can't believe, by Arceus's Pokeballs, it's Mew. Andrew. Sorry, it's Mew. It's actually Mew. Would appear so. Ciri, this is a very interesting find. Where did you find it? Well, Mew was traveling with Denver, and Denver asked me to go with Mew to find the legendary bird Pokemon. Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. Any idea why? Yeah, I can only imagine. Wow, that's a lot to take in. Yeah, and these guys sound like really, really bad news. Yeah. They really are. The leader is scary too, and his Charizard is currently a lot more powerful than Mew. Well, I think Andrew and I can help locate the legendary birds. They were all native to Celestia before people inhabited the continent, some thousands of years ago. Thousands? 3,274 to be exact. Yes, they are the most ancient. It is said that these texts here, that they will shower those they approve of with their power before departing, just like you said. Unfortunately, after that, the scripts are too damaged to read. They are very old after all. I must get back to my research though, Ciri. Andrew can help you further. Okay. In the meantime, if you need me to check the progress on your Pokédex, I can do so downstairs. Thanks, Professor. Well, this is quite the situation. Yeah. Let me take a look at this book for a moment. Aha! What did you find? Moltres, the firebird, will be in a place of extreme heat, and Zapdos, the thunderbird, is attracted to very large storms. That gives me a few ideas. Thanks. That should help to narrow it down. So, what now? Carry on with my adventure and find those birds. Mew, let's go. Poof. I am going to save here, and this is where I'm going to end the stream, as, my throat is starting to hurt. Partially because I, read a book earlier. We'll save. But that is where I'm going to leave it for today, but not until I reveal my other toggle. People have been asking. And Box-kun has made his return. I can be put in the box once more. And so can Snom if he's on my head. You've never seen... You so have heard of Box-kun. Back in my 3D model days, it was the most popular toggle alongside Truck-kun, who ran me over consistently. It was Truck-kun and Box-kun redeemed all the time, and people have been asking for Box-kun back. I don't know if I will ever, unless I go back to 3D, which my computer can't handle right now. But I do want to have Truck-kun back at some point, too. Yeah, really. Box-kun is asked for at least once a stream. Hi, Nova! But yes, Box-kun has officially made his return. He is now back up as a redeem, so should people wish to redeem him, they can. He's got the little face. I love him. And of course we got Snom. My beloved. But that is where I am going to end stream for the day. Let's see who there is to raid. I don't know who's live right now. I never know who's live. I say that so often. I don't know who's live right now. Heck yeah! Let's see. Who is live? that isn't 10 times bigger than I am. I'm gonna send you guys to Mally Makes, I think. They've only been live for half an hour. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And we shall see you all another time. Ciao for now, y'all.